Alright, what is going on everybody? It is your boy Connor, your Primitive AK here, back with another video for you guys today. Today we are covering the good, the bad, and ugly with the Black Ops Cold War beta. So, as the time of making this commentary, the beta has officially concluded, and I figured it's best if we give some feedback regarding the beta and see exactly what works for the beta, what didn't work, and what really didn't work for the beta. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys showing the love and support. The gameplay you guys are watching is a nice little 50 kill gameplay that I got, 51 kill gameplay on Combined Arms Domination on Cartel with the homies that I managed to get on stream. Very entertaining gameplay, so I hope you guys do enjoy it. So we got a lot to cover. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So the really good that I want to talk about with this beta so far, I'm really liking the overall performance of the weapons. Weapon balance feels in a really good spot right now, despite a few variables like the new SMG that was nicknamed the Uzi, but I think it's called like the Milano or something like that. Something like that. That weapon needs to be changed in my opinion. And the SMGs feel like they're in a really good spot as well. So overall, there's still work to be done in terms of weapon balancing, but for what we got so far, weapon balancing seems to be in a good spot. Moving on. The overall game modes I played so far seem to be really good as well. The game what I'm playing right now, Domination, which is basically Conquest from Battlefield for those that have never played that mode before. I like the fact that we have a mix of both infantry maps, which is what I'm playing right now, and also some tank maps as well. I thoroughly dislike the tank maps. We're going to get into that later. And overall, just, you know, the maps themselves play very well for infantry, but we're going to talk more about map design later as well, because obviously I'm sure you guys know there are some issues with the maps as well. Moving on, the weapon statistics for the weapon. Moving on to weapon balance, I want to add on to that a little bit. There are a lot of statistics for the weapons that you guys may not have seen. If you hold R2 at the weapon screen, it'll actually show you a very good list of detailed stats. What performances do what, how a grip affects a weapon, how a barrel affects the weapon. It literally gives you so many statistics, and that's great for people like myself, J-God, Drifter, people that do class setups, and people that cover, you know, the overall details of the game. And I really think that's a good thing that they added to the game as well. And also the attachments themselves. Each weapon has a unique set of attachments, which overall can improve the game a lot and help out your gameplay a lot. And while a weapon may not seem as good at the start, it gets a little bit better as you unlock the attachments. And that's one thing that I really do like. A lot of times these weapons felt like the attachments were really rewarding. A lot of guns were just great right out of the gate, and you know, unlocking the attachments were just kind of secondary, I guess you could say. But the overall weapons themselves, they have a lot of great attachments, and the gunsmith is far superior to Modern Warfare, in my personal opinion. I really do like what they've done with that as well. Moving on, some of the game modes that were introduced throughout the beta, known as VIP Escort. This is a variant of Search and Destroy where you have to escort a high-value target on your team to the helicopter. If you escort them to the helicopter, you win the game, or if you kill all the enemies, then you win the game as well, or win the round. You have to do that for 4 rounds, and once whoever hits 4 rounds is the one that wins. This is a very entertaining game mode, and I'm excited to see if this is going to make it to the competitive scene for CDL when the season starts. So very excited to see if that one does make it. What I thoroughly do like about these game modes is that it's always hard to try and introduce new things to Call of Duty, especially since the series has been going on for so long. But the fact that they're able to introduce a new game mode such as this really does show that they're actually trying to be more creative with the game, and I really do appreciate that. So definitely entertaining gameplay, and you guys know I'm not really big on the Search and Destroy style modes, but I thoroughly did enjoy that mode as well. Moving on to some of the perks of the game, I want to talk a little bit about the perk system in the game. We got some good stuff and some bad things with here, but the fact that both Tac Mask and also Flak Jacket actually work on this game. Now, Flak Jacket actually wasn't in this beta, it was in the alpha, so I do want to make that clear, but it actually does work on this game because the grenade spam on this game is atrocious. It's very bad. We'll get into that later as well, but the nade spam is pretty bad, and it's nice to know that these perks that can counter that are actually useful, because Modern Warfare, you guys know, they were quite literally useless. They didn't do anything. That's why I stopped using them. I stopped using Battle Hardened, I think it was called, and I also stopped using EOD because they're useless perks. They don't do anything in my opinion, and I felt that they did buff it once, and it just wasn't enough in my opinion. So it's nice to see that Treyarch actually got it right with these perks, so hats off to them. Greatly appreciated. Excellent job. Moving on to some of the gameplay features in the game, I want to talk about the Fov Slider. This is a huge W for console gamers out there. The Fov Slider is a feature that we've never had in a Call of Duty unless you're on PC, obviously. So the fact that we have this on consoles now is a huge W from Treyarch. So really hats off to them for managing to get that to work. I had a feeling they were going to add an Fov slider, but I had a bad feeling it was only going to be for next gen consoles. So the fact that they got this working for previous gen, which is now PS4 and Xbox One, is a huge benefit to all gamers in my opinion. So hats off to them for getting it right and getting that feature out to everybody. So that way some people that may not be able to upgrade because pre-orders suck right now are not forced to being upgraded to the next gen consoles, which is a great W in my opinion. Also, moving on, being able to remove certain HUD elements is a big W as well. You can take out the compass, you can take out, you know, the player names and stuff like that. You can remove certain things to your HUD, and that's really nice. You can fully customize your entire HUD, which is something that a lot of shooter games like Division 2 and also a few other games like Battlefield 4 have in their games, and Call of Duty never really did any of that. You were kind of limited on what you were able to customize, so being able to customize that is another really great feature as well. So let's go ahead and talk about the bad of the game, because we got a lot of bad, and we're gonna I hate to kind of shift gears here and turn it into a negative Nancy type thing, but I feel like these things should be talked about. First things first, map design needs to be looked into. I get what they were trying to do with some of the maps, but Cartel, man, we got to talk about Cartel. I like the way the map flows in 12v12. Like it's actually really fun to play. Like once you figure out the spawns and everything, the Cartel is actually a pretty decent map once you get past the issue with the grass. But the problem is the grass. That grass, for some reason, I'm experiencing severe hit detection issues on that map because of the grass. Like it's almost like you're losing aim assist when you try to aim at somebody through the grass. Like their entire character model just disappears, and I've seen kids literally hiding in mid-map with the grass, and the grass has to be cut. Like I understand you're probably not going to get rid of it, but if you are watching this, Treyarch, we got to hire some lawnmowers, man. Just trim it down a little bit so I can at least see their upper chest, or at least their head, so I can at least see that somebody's moving through the grass. Because when you move through that grass, you can't see anything. The grass is as tall as the player model, and that's the issue with that map. So that needs to get fixed ASAP. Moving on, I want to talk about the we're going to talk about some of the weapon balance. Some of the SMGs feel like they're just not coded properly. I don't know what's up with some of the SMGs, specifically the Uzi. That weapon was nerfed apparently, but I'm still getting 3-shot across the map with the weapon. I don't know. I feel like something needs to be done with that. Moving on, I want to talk about the movement. The movement overall, and I guess I should have added this to the good of the game, but the movement feels nice, but for some reason, and it's hard to explain this, but for those that have played the game actively as much as I have, you may know exactly what I'm talking about. When you slide into a player and he's sliding in your direction as well, there's this like severe issue where your character is not going to aim at the character at all, and it's like you're not getting any aim assist. Your character turns at a speed of like negative 0.5 miles per hour, and 9 times out of 10 I'm going to end up dying because of the fact that you can't turn your character model when you're sliding, and when a character is sliding into you, you can't aim at them as well. You have to hit fire, because if you try to ADS like in Modern Warfare, you're just gonna die. It just doesn't work. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if that's something with the game's coding or if it's just my sensitivity. I tried turning my sensitivity all the way to max, and it just doesn't work in my opinion. It just doesn't work. Moving on, and I want to make it clear, this could be an issue with last gen. We don't know how this game is going to play on PC or PS5, so do bear in mind that this may be fixed for next gen. But for PS4, this game plays poorly, very poorly in terms of frame rate issues. I can assure you guys, I've been gaming for a very long time. I game on PC, I game on consoles. I have a very good idea of what 60 frames per second is supposed to look like in gaming. This game, I can assure you, is not running at 60 frames on PS4. It is not. I promise you. I tried it on PS4 Pro. I've seen it on PS4, the standard PS4, the upgraded PS4. It's not running at 60 frames at all. It's probably running at about 50, maybe about 45 to 50, but it's definitely not 60 frames per second. I'm not sure if this is because the game is meant to be run on a PS5 and a PC, but like I said, we're gonna get the game for PS5 and we're gonna get it for PC, and I can assure you it's probably gonna look 9 times better and it's gonna run 10 times better. But it definitely is not running at 50 frames, 60 frames per second. There are some times where I'm getting severe frame drops and I'm dropping to as low as like 30 frames per second or maybe 35. But from what I was gathering in that game, some people were complaining about frame drops on the game, on my stream, and I told them, I was like, well, my stream is not showing any dropped frames, so sure enough, it's the game that's actually lagging and not my live stream. Moving on, the connection is a very serious issue, and this could go in line with the really bad issues with the game. There's some severe connection issues with this game, and I've actually mentioned this to Treyarch a few times over on Twitter, and a lot of Carnage members have done so as well. The connections feel very, very weird. If you guys pay attention when you're playing, well, the game's not live anymore, but if you were paying attention when you played the game, you may have seen something in the right hand side known as packet burst. That was happening literally every 10 seconds throughout the game. And I could tell that it was happening every 10 seconds throughout the game because my game would start feeling very choppy. And it was a combination of both frame rate and also latency issues. Bullets not registering at certain ranges, and just also kills not registering at certain ranges. I noticed when you use certain guns like a burst weapon, the M16, sometimes your burst would not register until about usually 0.75 seconds later. And there are cases where I would still get the kill, but the burst wasn't registering for quite a bit of some time. And I know bullet velocity is a thing, so trust me when I know there is a delay when you shoot your gun between when it hits the target. But there were times where I'd get the kill before I even got the hit marker. So it's just like, well, why am I getting a kill when the game is showing that I'm not getting the hit markers until later, which throws me off a little bit. I'm not entirely sure what's up with that. I'm not sure if that's a server issue. Also, the connections overall, and this may be because there weren't many people playing the beta. Like, obviously it was a pre-order only beta for the first 2 days, so that was when I was experiencing the most severe connection issues. So that may be another big option as well that may factor into that. So we're not entirely sure on that, but overall there's way too many instances of ghost bullets and just hit detection issues that need to be looked into and tweaked. Whatever it is they need to do, they gotta change it, because the game cannot release in that state. Like I said, I'm hoping that changes for PS5 and also PC, but it's just to give them a heads up. It's got to be looked into, because we don't know if this is going to translate into next gen, which is going to be an absolute nightmare for everybody. Also, the spawn system. Spawn system needs to be reworked. There are too many instances where I'm spawning legitimately in the enemy spawn, and all of a sudden, I'm pinged on their UAV for like a second, and then I see 5 heads turn around, instantly start mowing my grass, literally. So the spawns need to be reworked. There are too many times where I've seen people spawn behind me, where I spawn behind them, and normally if a flip spawn happens, the whole team will spawn there. But the problem is that with the flip spawns, what'll happen is somebody may end up pushing too far. The game thinks that the spawns are flipping, so what it does is it spawns one player outside of where your team is, but it doesn't spawn the other 5 players there. It just spawns that one guy there, and then your spawns go back to being normal. That shouldn't happen, in my opinion, and that happened way too many times. It happens in every Call of Duty, I've noticed, but it happens more in this game, and that's one thing they need to fix. Also, I know they said they did something about view kick headshot. Okay, view kick headshot's still in the game. All right, that fix that. That's definitely it's still in the game. Also, aim assist. Aim assist feels like a literal aimbot on this game. They need to tone this down severely. Kids are literally locking onto my head across the map when I know for a fact a player is not that good enough to be locking onto my head that far. Granted, if I'm playing Scump's ult accounts, I get that. There are times where people are actually that good at the game and they're locking onto your head from across the map, but the aim assist on this game is actually ridiculously strong, and it needs to be toned down. The problem with this, and I know some people may disagree with me on this one, the problem with the aim assist is that I'm overcompensating my shots, and a lot of top tier players like the Oceanopeezy, Frizz Eyes, Chain Feeds, these are all very talented players that know how to play the game. They've been playing Call of Duty for as long as I have, since the beginning of time, and they're all complaining about the aim assist because we're all overcompensating our shots. We're used to aiming ourselves, where we don't have to overcompensate our shots because our aim is good enough to where we don't typically need aim assist at extreme ranges to be able to land our shots. But the problem is the aim assist is so strong that we're overshooting our targets, or we're trying to overcompensate for what the aim assist is trying to do for us, and it causes us to miss shots, believe it or not. And on top of that, there were a lot of times where people were literally just locking onto me across the map, and I know for a fact if it was something like Modern Warfare, they would not be hitting those shots. I promise you, they would not hit those shots. Also, moving on, we got two more things we're going to talk about because I don't want this video to be too long. It's kind of long already. But camera angles need to be reworked. There were some instances, you may have seen it in this gameplay that you're watching, that players were actually getting headshot kills on me when I was behind cover, and I physically cannot see their body at all. There's no way I can see them. But for some reason, they can see just a tiny little pixel of my head. And of course, the aim assist being an aimbot, they're able to lock on to that tiny little pixel and absolutely beam my head off of that head glitch. This happened in one of the gameplays where I did a class setup on the XM4. I think you guys may have already seen the gameplay where someone actually beamed my head off. I was reloading my gun behind cover, and I know for a fact that no one should have seen me in that area, and for some reason he just locked on my head because aim assist told him I was there. Literally, he didn't even know I was there at first. He just aimed outside in the area. He realized he was getting sticky aim, pulled down the trigger, and sure enough got an easy headshot because of it, because of the camera angles. So that needs to be fixed and reworked. If I can't see the enemy player, he should not be able to see me as well. That's how it should work. That's how every Call of Duty's been. So yeah, please look into that. Also, last but not least, there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about, but we're just gonna touch on the big ones here. Skill-based matchmaking. Most people know how I feel about this. I did a whole dedicated video talking about it, but we're gonna add it again on this video. Whoever's turning the dials on skill-based matchmaking, whether it be Treyarch or Activision, whomever's responsible, I personally think they're both responsible, but whomever's responsible, you need to have whatever you did in Black Ops 4 skill-based matchmaking, put it back to that. All right, don't put it to whatever you have on this game. This is basically Modern Warfare skill-based matchmaking, but turned up like a good 12 notches. All right, maybe it'll get a little bit better when, you know, the beta is open to everybody, so there's gonna be a bigger player pool, so maybe it won't be as many sweats, but you got to turn this down. All right, this is ridiculous. We should not be trying this hard, and I get why it's in the game. Now, a lot of people, including myself, are under the impression that the game has skill-based matchmaking because they're trying to protect the bots. That may be like 10% true, but the real reason why skill-based is in the game is because they want to maintain player retention. Player retention is what helps them make money. It's what helps the gamers that don't typically, you know, they don't upload videos like myself. They don't do YouTube. They just play the game. They spend money, rinse, repeat. That's all they do. The fact that they're not getting trashed on every single game by players like myself is why skill-based is there, because they can peacefully enjoy the game without, you know, dealing with sweats like myself, and they continuously play that game. It gives them retention on the game, and also it makes them money. They want to keep spending more money on the game because they're enjoying it more. That's why skill-based is there, because it makes them money. But the way you have it right now, I'm warning you now, Treyarch, if somebody's watching this video, you know I got love for you guys. I respect everything that you guys do there. But what you are going to end up doing is you are going to create a toxic player base where everybody is going to be making second accounts and reverse boosting. We're already seeing this in Apex Legends. We already saw it in Destiny 2, which, by the way, Destiny 2 actually got rid of their skill-based matchmaking. For those that don't remember, they actually removed it when they split from Activision. All right, I don't know if Activision forced them to have skill base in their game, but yeah, Bungie got rid of their skill base because of what it was doing to their player base. All right, so you want to leave it in the game, fine by me. All I'm saying is everybody's going to be on second accounts all year because we're not dealing with this a second year. So I got respect for you guys, but do something about this, please. Anyways, guys, if you guys have something that I did not add to this video in terms of something really good about the game or really bad about the game, let me know in the comments box. Let's try to keep it civil. Let's have a discussion. Let me know if you guys agree with everything I said. If you disagree, let me know why you disagree. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you managed to watch this video as well, hope you take some of this feedback into consideration. I'll catch you guys in the next one. It's your boy Carnage, your Primitive AK, signing out. Peace out, fellas.